Hello and welcome to today's video. In this video, we will discuss screening interviews, their purpose, and how you can prepare and succeed in one. So let's dive right in. So a screening interview is a preliminary stage in the hiring process. It enables recruiters to evaluate the large pool of candidates and determine if they possess the bare minimum for the position. Screening interviews are typically conducted by a human resource representative or someone from the hiring department and are designed to weed out the unqualified candidates. So the candidates who ace their screening interview usually move to the next round of interview, that is a face-to-face interview, where they are evaluated by the main decision makers. Companies use screening interviews to save time and resources by eliminating the unsuitable candidates early on in the process. This allows them to focus on the qualified candidates and ensure that they only grant face-to-face interviews to the best candidates who have good chances of getting hired. Now that we know what a screening interview is and why companies use them, so let's dive into some tips to know how to succeed in one. Tip number 1, be prepared. Research the company and the role. Practice answering the common questions. Tip number 2, listen closely. Be attentive, ask insightful questions, and engage with the recruiters. Number 3, be conversational. Carefully articulate your words and take your time as you answer each question. Next tip is to ask about the next steps. Inquire about the next step in the process and when can you expect the response from them. So let's talk about the questions that are asked during a screening interview. Tell me about yourself. The tell me about yourself interview question is an icebreaker. It is intended to make you more comfortable and provide the hiring manager with the insight into your personality, because your answer is going to help them determine if you're a good fit for the job or not. Describe your work history. In addition to help the interviewer fact check your resume, this question also helps you to show how your prior job experiences help you gain the experiences and skills. Salary requirements inquiry. Prepare several ways to answer these questions so that you can keep your options open without alienating the interviewer. For example, you might give a range rather than a specific number. Why do you want this position? Be as specific as possible and demonstrate your passion for this job and employer, not just any open position in your field. Skill-based questions. For example, have you worked deploying newsletters, or do you have any experience setting up successful store displays? These are skill-based questions. Some other common screening interview questions include: why did you apply for this job? Can you tell us something about yourself? What do you consider your biggest strength and weakness? What is your work style? What is your ideal work environment? What are you passionate about? What motivates you? What other companies are you interviewing with? What are your salary expectations at your next position? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now, these questions are designed to help the recruiters to evaluate candidates' qualifications, experiences, and of course their goals as well, to gauge their interest in the position and assess their fit for the company. To succeed in a screening interview, candidates should be prepared, listen closely, be conversational, and ask about the next steps in the hiring process. Now we are going to talk about what are the requirements for the screening interview. The most important requirement for a successful screening interview is to show the employer that you are a good match for a job, because only the candidates who are the closest match will move on. You need to remember that your goal is to get to the second round of interview. To stay in the running, you need to demonstrate that you are a highly qualified, passionate candidate who will solve the company's problems and further their goals. How to prepare for the screening interview? In order to succeed in a screening interview, candidates should review the job description. So first you need to examine the required and preferred qualification for the candidate as well as for the main responsibilities for the role. So you need to take notes of key responsibilities and consider how your education, skills and experiences align with that role. Number 2, research the company. You should be able to answer the questions about the company's products, markets, and other key strategies and figures that can be uncovered through research. Expect some variation of questions. What do you know about us? As part of your research, read through blog posts and post on the social media accounts. You can also check to see if you know someone from the organization who could give you more insight. Number 3, know your resume. Be prepared with the description of your previous positions as well as experiences that prove your abilities. You need to be able to describe your 3 most relevant accomplishments so that how they demonstrate your ability to be successful in the role you're applying for. Number 4, practice interviewing. Practice interviewing with a friend. Give them a list of common questions that are asked during a screening interview and practice how you will respond to them. If the screening interview is happening over a phone, have a friend call you and practice your interview over a call. And if you plan to use the notes during the interview, have them ready to use during your practice interviews. Number 5, prepare questions. So think of some thoughtful questions to ask the interviewer during the interview to show them that you are interested in a position. What to do during your screening interview? Here are some recommendations to help you excel during the interview. Find a quiet location. Assuming the screening interview is going to be conducted over a phone, set aside at least 30 minutes in which you can speak to the interviewer in a quiet location without any interruption. Be enthusiastic. Try to build a rapport with the interviewer. Express interest in the company and ask about the potential time frame and next steps. Ask for the interviewer's email address too, if you don't already have one, so that you can follow up. Smile as you speak. Smile when you're talking about the work that you have done, when you're asking questions, or when you're expressing your enthusiasm about the company. The interviewer will be able to read the difference in the tone, and it can have a powerful impact on how much you are interested in the position. Be straightforward. Make it easy for the interviewer to get the information that they require. Answer questions directly. Be straightforward and to the point. And on a positive note, finish the call on a positive note by thanking the interviewer for giving you the opportunity to discuss the role. You could say something like, "Thank you so much for the call. I really liked what I heard about the role and the company. I am really confident that I'd be a great match for the job. I would love to meet you in person and discuss the opportunity in depth." What to do after your screening interview? Here are some simple tips for after the screening interview that can make the wait easier and increase the likelihood of a callback. Send a thank you note. Send a thank you email or a handwritten note within 24 hours of the interview. Express your appreciation for the opportunity to interview for the role and reiterate your interest in the position. Follow instructions. If you were given any instructions, such as following up via email, follow them. If you forgot to ask about the next steps during the interview, request a clarification during the follow-up email. Be patient. Be prepared that you may not receive a response to your thank you note, especially if the organization is screening a large number of candidates. So follow up after 1 week of the interview and then again after the 2 weeks. Begin preparing for a second interview. You never know when you'll be asked to come in for another round of interview, so you'll want to be ready at a moment's notice. Research more to find information not readily available on the company site about company's milestones, award-winning projects, or recent initiatives that you can work into the interview. Screening interviews can be a crucial step in the hiring process, but with the proper preparation and the right approach, you can succeed and make a great impression on the employer. Just remember to be prepared, listen closely, maintain a conversational tone throughout the interview. Good luck, and we hope that these tips help you ace your next screening interview. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Leave a comment below if you have any suggestions or questions about the video. Thank you for watching.